So it brings you here. Then what we'll do, we modeling direct from here according to how we agreed. So you come to your modeling tab. Modeling tab is the second one after building setup. Then you will see grid, you will see orthogonal axis generator. So we can use grid, we can use orthogonal axis. The grid is more flexible. When not dig in the mungandama, we can twist it however we want it. So if we use the orthogonal, just click on it and click anywhere on your window. This menu will pop up.
Yes.
We are together?
Yes.
All right. 5,000 times 3. It means 5,000 in 3 places. That's what it means. Shima 1 and the Shima, it means 5,000 in 3 places. But you see direction 1 and you see direction 2. DIR 1, direction 2. Yes. So, but come in and I explain it here. You can use comma 5,000, comma another 5,000 instead of the times 3. So in a case where killer space in but you don't have equal spacing, you can't say 5,000, maybe you have 5,000, 4,000, 3,000. So Kagani is not equal spacing. So you can't use times. So you have to use comma 4,000, then comma 3,000. If in span in the consult any, you can just use multiply, just multiply it. Then we'll click on OK. Then say Kaumana. Yeah? We are all together. Okay. Yes, so far we are together. Muji? Then no, it's not recording. I'll close this. Under this modeling, all the structural members that you want to use in your design. So if you come to this place, you click on this drop down. Zaka ganna steel ma yana nan. Akwai na steel. Ka gani wannan steel dome ake amfani da shi a masallaci da wannan. Duk gasan. To amma this area now covers reinforced concrete. So gas steel column now. To column din ne dama ake fara sa. So click on column. Muka click in column. Sai mu specify me size na column da muke so mu amfani da shi. So someone should provide a cross section na column that we should use. Okay, 230 by 230. Fine. So we'll use 230 by 230 size. Why are you using that one? Okay, fine. You can actually at liberty use any cross section.
I'm using 300 by 300. I'm going to use 230 by whatever. But it still doesn't matter because still use it command. So
should we proceed?
Yes.
So the moment you type in those information, in kun duba wannan column din ma, there is what we call drop a gefen nan. Sannan kuma akwai 3D. Wannan drop din, you can use it for drop panel, kamar in the case of flat slab. Because of wannan punching din ana sa mai drop panel. Ko kuma za ka yi kamar irin su ko overhead tank ma ana dan sa drop ko kuma ko irin su bridge da sauransu. But in this case, since we are just trying to understand the software, we forget about the drop for now and insert our columns. So zamu clicking back. So you click, but make sure wherever the only place you can insert a column must be an intersection between two axes. Then by in the column, by axis intersecting, but you can't insert a column there. So I'm misali kaman nan yanzu, I can't insert a column here. I can't insert here. Sai dai nan kuma. You can highlight. You can highlight, but disadvantage in highlighting shine sometimes ba ko ina ne you want a column where there is an intersection ba. Except in a case where you want an intersection everywhere, where you want a column. Kuma wannan is not wise. Structurally, you are not making it economical enough, because akwai inda you will not want a column there just to save cost. So, but if we assume cewa mana son column akwai ina, we can just simply highlight. Ko ina ma, however you want it. Ko ta haka ma kake so. If you want to go from left to right or right to left, still the same. Shi kuma din, the software will check where there is intersection, say dropping column. That's how it works. Then if you don't want column in anywhere here, you can manually pick that column and delete it. Wannan eccentricity, wannan sakiya yana yawa sakiyan wurin. Nan column ɗin is big. Specify the one. Okay, fine. Let me explain that part. Okay, kungan E1, E2, eccentricity kenan. Is telling you the center. You can specify center column din da kake so, ko kuma position da kake so abin yazo ya siya anan a tsakiya. So however you want it, so you can specify. Amma because this column is a square column, so definitely center din will be 115 115 kenan. That's the middle of 230. So there's no need of me specifying any eccentricity, because none from this setting. Look at the screen. If you look at this menu that pops up now allows you to select in the kake so column should be positioned. Now if you look at this now, if I select the first one, that means I want the edge na column from the top left corner of my column. That is where I want to be here. I can access them. So if the architectural drawing is showing you cewa you will have to introduce your column there, probably maybe akwai wani aesthetics ko wani opening or something you don't want to obstruct. But in most cases our columns are usually center to center. But you are using an irregular shape na column body for proper distribution na load. So that's why I will select the center. Once now selecting center, I don't need to be typing in these informations here. Mba center ka selecting, but definitely but they should guys didn't center by. Let's demonstrate it and see. Let me delete these two columns. And then I click on column. I'm Sally. Let's say this thing now selecting one and the first one. You can see what Not selecting this first one. If I try to insert this column now, you see it's not at the center. Are you seeing? That's basically how it is. Now let me change this one now to this one. Zako gani shima, it will be bottom ni. Ngani bezona sokemba. And then you can manually type in the value instead of selecting any of this. Is it making sense? Yes. So, in a case where Abu Mayana Sekia Amsali, let's say it's at the middle, but let's say this, based on the settings, Yanuna Sekia, but I still decide to specify an eccentricity 100. This one should be at 150. To na placing Abu Zakugam, but she got the India Kamata. So that's why it's important you select this central one. So you forget about this other information, except in special cases. Then definitely architecture, structural design is peculiar to architectural. So however the architects present the drawing is how you are definitely going to fine-tune your structural design to suit what the architect has given you. So CSR about any constant now anyone. So if it's at the center now, I'll select the center. No place in Nashi. But you know, I have tampered with the arrangement of this column. So one yana nuna mana 7, one yana nuna mana 17. This one is saying 18. Then when you come down, you see this one is number 6. So it's very simple to rearrange this. But let's leave it as it is for now first. So that most other structural members, Zambo relabeling this here together at the same time. So I believe all of us are here now. So the next thing we will do, we can either insert the number of stories or we can put in other structural members. Anyone can come. But if you come to your stories now by your left side corner, left corner of your screen, you will see stories. Then you right click on top of that stories. Are we there? Yes. Then click on insert stories. We are together? Yes. Alright, then I will specify the number of stories. I'm going to type in just 2. That means one suspended floor channel. So ground floor and first floor, Shinikal. Then we'll click on OK. We are together, right? I will click OK. Then it will tell us this and the previous processes will not be undone after this step. Do you want to continue? I will say yes. Now, automatically it has bring us to story 2 plan. So you have to switch it back to story 1. Okay. So to switch back to story 1, just double click on ST1 by your left corner of your screen. Just double click on it. If you check as someone Zaka Gani, you'll be able to know what story that your design is. So you come back to story 1. Then you still right click on top of that story, left corner of your screen. Then you right click. Then you come to edit story. Should I do a little recap? Now, any recap on what I have done?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. I started by clicking orthogonal axis generator. I clicked anywhere around my window. That was the first thing I did. And then instead of this, I specified by using comma. Sorry, I cannot remember the values I used, but so I may not probably go into. So, but this is basically what I did. Then I clicked on OK. So, but I'm going to delete that. It's not relevant anymore. Or let me leave it for just to recap. And then I clicked on column. Then I specified the size of the column. Then I made sure that this is centralized. So, and then I inserted the column. And I said, there is no way you can insert a column where you don't have intersection of two axes. So, then I will highlight this and delete it because it's not useful to me. So I can just use my delete on my keyboard to delete any element I want. Now I'm back to this place. Then on this story, by the left hand corner of my screen, if I right click on it, story, if I right click on it, I can come to edit story. Now once I'm here, this is where I will specify the depth na foundation inner.
Okay.
Yes, so I will specify the depth of my foundation from here. So let's say the depth of my foundation is 1200. Then one label ni footing label. I can decide to give it another name. Instead of F, it's going to show you F1, F2, that's footing 1, footing 2, footing 3, like that. So, but if I don't want it to be presented that way, I can change it to P, part 1, part 2, part 3, however I want to name it. So if I am okay here, one structural system, if you click on it, there is a drop down menu here. It will show you steel, but this is a reinforced concrete building, so I will leave it as RC. I believe all of us are here now. Once I'm done with this, then I'll click on OK. And then it tells me that this and the previous processes will not be undone after this step. Do I want to continue? I will say yes. Okay. I will come to stories by the left hand corner of my screen. And then I will right click on top of it. Then I will come to edit story. Once I'm in edit story, I will specify the depth of my foundation. I decide I want to use 1200 as the depth of my foundation. You can use any depth that you feel is more suitable, but always make reference to design standards. One of the book I can recommend is Reinforced Concrete Design by Victor Oyemiga. One of the books I can recommend. It's very important. Or Mosley and Bungie. So another one that I recommend you.
These are the two.
So those two books are books I can recommend. Then I will click on OK. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, RC go one number. Most times by default, my RC ni zaka gani a wurin kawai. So dai in ka je by default it's always RC. Okay. So number of stories no more is there. Okay, Kasamurga mu inserting stories. Inserted stories. So we have 2 stories. Everybody has 2 stories, have we?
Yes.
Fine. Then what we'll do now, and make sure you are in story 1. Very important.
Yes.
Because then you click on beam. When you click on beam, you specify the depth of the beam. And most times, via chika uchi one cross section the minimum. When it comes to floor beam, there's maybe you can put in more light. But the cross section the beam, most times via it doesn't go less than 230, 450.
Because of the block size. Because of the block size.
Say kuma depth then.
That's 300, 450.
So for floor beam 450 depth, via it doesn't go less than that, except for roof. Roof beam say as a 300 depth.
Or 230. Depending on the span. How wide.
Yes, sir. So it has 3D here. One and 3D thing, I'm going to explain that to you by the time Zama senior man a software. There is more to the software actually. There are a lot of features in the software than the Boomplay. So we'll still remain on the general for now. And then we will click your first point and click the second point to insert your beam. So now kuma kaman bai ba. But I'm sure Nasoran yayi.
Yes.
I must have made a mistake. That is why 230 by 450. I'll select the first point and I'll select the second point. What is it saying? Another wall or beam exists in the same location. Wall ne nike ta danna wannan. Kamar wall ne wa nike ta danna. Okay. Sorry, it's a beam, not a wall. I don't know what's wrong. Amma namu yayi go? Na kowa bai ba? To no, one ne. Okay, there are one and that are existing here, but I'm not seeing it. Nakama bai ba?
How many stories ne?
2 ne. I want to story 1 ne.
We're story 1.
You are supposed to work on stories.
Okay, there are beams that are. Okay, beams in Sananawa. Yeah? Not 0 ne. Okay.
That's story 0.
You are at the foundation level now.
Na foundation ne. Sai sa bai ba. Okay.
How many stories? At the foundation level, it will not be guy.
Please make sure you are in story 1. And I was making emphasis again. Story dinner. Make sure it's you. I was making emphasis again.
It's good. And as I'm doing when. So that you know
So
what
if
it is.
If you are not in the right story, but that can sound very simple. So let me delete. Oh, kaka yana shigawa. Aje. Kuma story 0 kuke. To yake bai ba.
Number of abone da kai picking do there.
Sun shiga. So I'm going to manually delete them. So na mamaki ce a ni wannan software yau kuma ya zo. Okay. So to insert the beam, so to insert the beam, I will select on the beam tool and I will click the first point, click my second point. As simple as that. But cross section in our a mistake, but I can correct that as we proceed. I will go back to the beam. I will correct this. Thank God for the mistake. I will, so that I will show you how to do that. But nothing explaining the Shijia. Eh? Then this one, I will. First point, this is the first point, second point. Shima one. Click on escape. Click first point, second point. Click on escape. Click first point, second point. Click on escape. First point, second point. You don't have to close this one. If you close it, you have to go and pick it again. First point, second point, click escape. Similarly for all of them. We are all here, cool? Yes. Then it is very important for us to come to your view by your left hand corner, left hand corner of your screen. You will see view, click on 3D physical model. It will switch it to a 3D. So now you are going to have 3D and you will have plan view. For the architect among us, I'm sure you are very familiar with plan view. You are viewing it from the top. And this is the 3D. Then, if you come to your view here, view tab at Chansama, you click on tile vertical. Now, it will divide your screen into two. If you are familiar with AutoCAD, this AutoCAD has this feature. So, if we are all in this place, let me know. Or Akoranda VK. Engineer Suleiman Beke Chambako. So we divided. Okay. Alright, we are good to go. So, Anang, we can generate all this model to the other floor. All I need to do, just to highlight all of them. When I highlight, I can right click at Chansamashi anywhere, but it has to be on top of any of the structural member. Then I will click on generate members to other stories. When I click generate members to other stories, I will select story 2. Tunda dama abun yana story 1. If you check the front of story 1, Zakugan X, that means you cannot generate to story 1 kuma because it's already there. It's already there, man. You can't even generate to it. But good. Now check. You will see not all the structural members that is highlighted. And I don't know of your own. So a lokacin da nike kokarin highlighting ne bai highlighting gaba daya ba. So it's a good thing cewa ya faru haka. So I can just hold on control to select the remaining structural members. So everything now is highlighted. I can now right click and click on generate members to other story, and I will select story 2. We are all there.
Yes.
Then I will click on OK. But before I click OK, I can even decide to select some specific structural member, but only is not generating the cover. Because you can see it's actually giving me a list of structural members here. So, however, whichever structural member I want to generate is what I can select. But if I want everything to be generated, I will select this box here. Then I will click on OK. Then it's telling me this and the previous processes will not be undone. Then I will click yes. We're all there, but I'll click yes. Then process completed. Then I will click on close. Okay, fine. Now, and then by the left corner here, you see we are in story 2. We are in story 2. Okay. Wouldn't generating number there you are kuma. You can't undo it. Say then deleting story thing about that. But let me show you. If you highlight, then you right click, then you click on generate members to other story. You can click in generate members to other story. Zai nuna ma story da zaka select. So here now we are in story 2.
Yes.
Then under this beam, make sure you are in 2B1, 2B2. That's story 2, beam 1, story 2, beam 3, beam 2, story 2, beam 3. That's by your left hand side of the screen. But akwai another tool wanda ake kiran shi filter. That filter tool does what this one will do for you. So, but sometimes software din yana dan some issues na filter din. So me, what I do whenever it's giving me that issue, I can just come here, click on the first beam, hold on shift and select the last beam. So all the beams have been selected. Then you can now right click on top. Asamashi. So if you right click, all you do, you click on properties. So it will bring out property menu na dika beams in the case. One floor then. It's recording. I'm recording it. Then I will at the top if I select this BW, it will highlight all the cross section that is below it. Then I can click on this thing that looks like a pencil. Click in Nashi. Then I will type the value 230. Then I will click on OK. Sai kuma dawo wannan shima, because that is a roof beam ne shi. Wannan that looks like a pencil shima, zan click in, san canja value din zuwa 300. Then I will click on OK. Huh? Hey, but just go back and click top there. Then they edit in the car. Then I will close this. I will click on this close and it goes. Now if you range this by eye, what the thickness then? Don't change the if you want. Aha. So let's go back to story 1. Akwai inda na dan yi mistake. Lokacin da na fara. If you click for you to switch to a story, first of all click here first. Inka clicking na, then you come back and double click. Sometimes when you double click here without clicking here first, but they switching back. That was the problem I had that time. CSR sorry. Mban clicking anan ba tukuna nazo na clicking anan ba zai switching ba. Abin da ya faru da model dina lokacin kenan. So if I come back here, you can see this beam cross section is not what I wanted to use. I can highlight just this one and edit it. I will just right click, go to my property. It's the same thing I was showing the last time. Kuma wurin naka ba nuna mai this wannan label haka, look at the screen. Wannan din baya nuna kaɗan nan labajin shi tukuna for now. Let's trash it out later. So we are here like this now. This is a very simple model. So the next thing we'll do, we'll insert a slab. So you come back to modeling tab now. Modeling. Then you see slab. You see slab. It may ask you for load cases. Just click yes. But some cases it may not ask. Amanya tambaya is simple. Everything is just click. When you click yes, it will bring you here. Click on loading generator. When you click in Canada still, you can select check this one. Amamba still, you can leave it on check ma. Horizontal load combination. This one and the bar any win load. Tunda is a very simple one now. One flow ni ma. But nkasa wind load ma is over design. Akanisa is over design. So just use the load generator. Then you come to load cases. Then you click on OK. The load cases beside the loading generator. I want to shangari.
No, whatever was that?
One loading generator, you click first, then you click OK. Say kuma na kusa da shi load cases na, you click on it, then you click OK. Then you click OK here, it will go. Shikenan. Then there is this slab menu thing I gave it that is coming here. So it's here now. You specify the depth of the slab. So 150. Say kuma concrete cover car. You specify. We all know concrete cover.
Yes.
Say kuma, then you switch to loadings now. One loadings thing, akwai dead load, akwai live load. So under this dead load now, ga list na dead load nan da yake bamu. But if you have a dead load value in your head, you can write it. But you can pick from here. In terrace ne ko balcony ne, you select. In room ne, you select. In flat roof ne, you select. So let's say this is for a room. Then the imposed load, residential building ne, ko hasibiti ne, ko toilet ne, ko billiard rooms ne, ko communal kitchens ne, ko balconies ne, whatever you are designing, ko X, ko theater ne. I can't impose load ne, you just right click on top. So ga sunan dai daban-daban. So let's assume it's residential ko. That means gidan da wani zai kwana. So if it is residential, it's 1.5. You can confirm that from those two books I was recommending. So once you put in those information, don't close this. Leave it open. Then kawai zaka zo nan ne kawai kana dropping nasu. Wannan adam ma bai shiga. Okay, I should explain it again, ba? I was explaining it yesterday. But I will explain it. No problem. Room, life load, residential. Okay, this type. Kungani, this type 1 means this panel is an internal panel. You see it shaded top, bottom, left, right. Type 2 is telling you that this panel is continuous in 3 different ways, but discontinuous in 1 way. Thus, Nkaduba ranging by eye, you can see that the long side shine yana kasa, is a rectangle. Kasan rectangle, we have 2 long side, 2 short side. So one of the long side is telling you that is discontinuous, while the 3 other sides are continuous. Kawai continuous chigabawa kenawa. That's what it means. Sorry, I don't know if my Hausa is correct. Kawai yana chigabawa. That's what continuous means.
What continuous means, there is the slab on the other side. That is common. These first 2 are there is a slab on this side and it is continuous over the beam on the other side. That's what it is. Continuous and discontinuous. Edge slab. Edge slab, common corner slab that is at the corner. The 2 sides are discontinuous while the 2 sides are continuous. So continuity is, that means the slab continues over the beam. That's what it is. The first 2, this slab continues over the second beam. Then the second slab discontinued, 1 is discontinuous while the 3 sides are continued.
Yes, sir.
This is it. But the one at the center, all the 4 sides are continued. There is a slab on each of the sides, and the one at the center, where there is a dot there. So on each of over the beam that bounded the slab, the 4 beams, there's continuity of slab on 4 sides. So it is an internal slab. So that is why you see answer hash in. Hash in means when a hash they take I want they can discontinuous, that is fixed. That's what it means. Anka duwa where there is 2 continuous that can answer hash out on the 2 sides. If it is longer, acquire longer. If it is shorter, acquire shorter. That's what it shows. So at a glance, you know what it is.
Okay. So isn't the mungani? So this is basically what it means. One kuma it means cewa ma ba wani continuity is just there. Kaman example kaman overhead tank. Wannan slab da ke sama ai ba wani other slab attached to it. So that kind it can most likely be this. So Kawa, you can take your time to pick the right one and slab type and place it there. So but in the I explained yesterday, the software can automatically do all this wala for you. Instead of you taking your time looking for which one suits what you want to use. But let me just demonstrate with the first panel. This first panel now will be type 4. Let me try the second panel. Kokuma, let me try this one. This one. One will be internal kenan.
Internal.
Na son sa wannan yanzu will be internal. Type 1. Kawa. Kuma na son sa wannan. This will be long edge discontinuous. So I will look for the long edge discontinuous type 2. Kagani is continuous in the 3 other places. Amate in the air pidogon, without air is discontinuous. So that's basically what that means. So instead of doing all this while the software can even do all of it for you. So let me just position everything. Let's assume this is a staircase. Akwai inda ake modeling staircase ma anan, but I will not show you now because wannan wurin ma is somehow tricky. So but let's erect the entire building to Kuna and one.
If you want, okay, you have demonstrated how the software can apply the different types of Abana.
I've been demonstrating yanzu ba, amma na demonstrating din shi jiya.
Okay, yeah. Automatically it will do the types of slabs.
So should we proceed?
Yes.
All right.
Quarter to 4.
Quarter to 4?
Quarter to 4, eh?
Okay.
Ko another was there. Well, so that was there. Ko ya. Mu sallam da wa shi a cikin All of salam.
Sai a zo ya to mu siya nan kenan. Madam,
you don't do it fast for time doesn't take that away because there are quite other abuna. What is the only one person never call it. Okay, so
okay, so you need
other architectural
software. Yeah, quick SketchUp.
Not this one SketchUp.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
SketchUp is simple. She zai duka.
SketchUp is very, very simple.
This is SketchUp. Wannan model din na fara yau shi ne ma na kusan gama shi.
SketchUp ne wannan ba?
SketchUp ne wannan.
So what we are going to do is by tomorrow By tomorrow we are supposed to round up abunan Prota abunan
ba za mu yi round up gobe ba
sai GB ko
kai ko GB ma zai yi ba sai dai mu incorporating other softwares din
okay ana
amma Proton is white dan ba mu ma taba still ba
but this is it tunda ana strike ayu here for the next 2 weeks
timetable na ya fita
kai
but ba next week bane za mu fara
okay
amma timetable na ya fita
immediately an dan fara shi ka gudu ka tafi
ba da ma
so ba da ma an go ga you we close up ya a ce ya cika ko nan you try it in the night ya kuma ta yanzu a saya
amma yana da kyau kamar mu koma wani software da a ce wannan muka dan samu
mu ba kwa so mu koyi SketchUp din ne
yana da kyau to amma
mun zo na an ce a yi designing gida ko me mu wata mu yana
bari a irin su ce ce ne koya mana shi ne da shi
there is one guy to teach them this thing, he reduce it to them.
Wait, Proton?
Okay. Where is it to be?
The true end of knowledge is to share.
This is it.
Why the hell
I wasn't Steve.
Oh.
Monopoly. You can stop the recorder and possibly give them copies.